Welcome, Your Majesty. It is an honor to be granted an interview with our new king.
Why, I'm more than happy to do anything that will give the people of Denmark more peace of mind with their new leader.
Well, we are glad to have you. And how have you been settling in with your new role as king?
Quite well, if I do say so myself. I feel it is my duty to Denmark to do all I can to lead us through this troubling time.
And how is young Hamlet adjusting to his father's death?
I do believe he is just happy that Denmark will be taken care of. He misses his father dearly, of course, but understands that life must go on. One cannot mourn forever.
I'm glad to hear it. And how is our queen feeling? I know that there have been some of the opinion that the wedding was rather hasty after the death of King Hamlet.
I suppose it could seem like a hasty decision from the outside, but the love between me and Gertrude is true. We have known each other for many years. It was not only practical for the running of the kingdom, but it was very helpful for her to have someone to support her in her time of grief. We have been, for a long time, very good friends.
And what sort of relationship has your marriage brought about with young Hamlet? I should think it would be rather difficult to suddenly accept an uncle into the role of father, especially so soon after losing one.
Well, I don't really know how Hamlet views me in his mind's eye. I have always thought of him as a son. Being married to his mother changes nothing. He will come round, I'm sure of it.
It was assumed he would be returning to Wittenberg. Do you perhaps think he would have found it easier to resolve his grief by returning to a normal?
His mother wishes for him to be near. She wishes to spend time with him after the recent death of his father. It helps her to feel more at ease, and I am all the happier for Hamlet to remain at home. After all, he is the closest heir we have to the throne of Denmark. It is important that he gain a practiced understanding of the role he will one day have to fill.
I suppose, but do you not think it may be hard for him to see you and his mother together so soon after his father's death? I do not mean any disrespect, Your Majesty. Anyone has a trouble picturing a parent with a partner other than their other parent after their death.
I think it is more important that he is with family at this time. I am sure he understands that I love Gertrude, and I hope to spend the rest of my life with her.
I know. Everyone would be very interested to know if there is anyone special in the young prince's life.
I'm afraid I do not know. Prince Hamlet is extremely secretive in regards to any relationships. I do not think my wife is in the know in that area of his life. Due to his only recently returning from Wittenberg, I have not had the time to observe him.
Is it possible, perhaps, that he has someone back in Wittenberg that he holds interest in?
I'm afraid I do not know. Although his mother and I have called upon some of his old school friends, I hope that they will take his mind off his grief.
That's wonderful. Will they be staying at the palace, then?
Yes, we hope that they will stay as long as he needs. I believe that there is no better medicine for grief than old friends. I hope that their companionship will help to lift his spirits and help to return him to his former self.
I do hope that his friends will help him. Does he have any interests or hobbies that help to occupy his time?
I believe he holds an interest in theater, but he does not speak of it. And, of course, riding and fencing is expected of him as a prince.
Well, it looks like we only have time for a few more questions. Now that we have discussed young Hamlet, how are you yourself handling the death of your older brother?
As well as I can myself. And King Hamlet were never very close, but he was still my brother.
I think that we found it all hard to lose him so suddenly. One certainly does not expect a king to be lost to something so unlikely as a serpent bite.
Yes, it was a shock, that I will not deny.
How did you react when you were told that he'd been found, and that it was now your duty to lead Denmark?
I find it hard to explain. I had this feeling that he was missing, so much that I was almost unsurprised when I was told that it had happened. It was Gertrude who told me, in fact. She came straight to me when she found him. Although I was of course devastated, I had to be strong for her. It must have been hard for you to have to fill such large shoes your brother King Hamlet left. Do you think he would be proud of the job you are doing? He would of course be happy Denmark was in such good hands. We may not have been the closest, but that was interest we always shared.
Well, your majesty, I'm honored that you have been willing to be interviewed. Thank you for your time, and good luck to you, the queen, and Prince Hamlet.